We've been waiting for official confirmation as to whether or not Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to stay at Manchester United. We've now got that confirmation. Van Nistelrooy is leaving. After 4 games as interim manager, 3 wins and 1 draw, he's leaving undefeated as Man United manager. And Ruben Amorim has decided that he doesn't want to have Ruud van Nistelrooy as part of his coaching staff. You can let me know what you think in the comments below as to whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing. Personal opinion, I think it's the right thing. And I understand why Ruben Amorim is doing it. And also, I want to say a big thank you to Ruud and what he has done for United as interim boss. Let me read through the official statement and then I can give you my thoughts, all right? Manchester United can confirm that Ruud van Nistelrooy has left the club. Ruud rejoined in the summer and has taken charge of the team for the past 4 matches as interim head coach. Ruud is and always will be a Manchester United legend. And that's an understatement of the century. We are grateful for his contribution and the way in which he has approached his role throughout his time at the club. He will always be very welcome at Old Trafford. Rene Hake, Rouwelaar and Pieter Morel, who I've never heard of, who is that, have also departed, and we wish them well for the future. So Ruud is leaving. Now, I thought Ruud would leave. This comes as absolutely no shock to me, and I don't really think it should come as any shock to you. The only way I saw Ruud staying on was if Ruben Amorim saw real value in having somebody there who could really be the connector between himself and the club. And arguably, you'd say he's still got that because Darren Fletcher is going to be staying at Manchester United in a coaching capacity. Now, people might say, oh, why is Fletcher staying? Fletcher is in a very different role to what Van Nistelrooy has ever been. He may have been sort of promoted more towards an assistant manager under Ruud van Nistelrooy, but Fletcher will be that connection between the academy and the first team. And that's going to be a very important person for Ruben Amorim. But in terms of understanding the club of Manchester United and what it means and the players, I suppose you can learn that from Darren Fletcher. And I thought if Ruud was going to stay, that was going to be the reason he stayed. But was it 3 assistant managers came on the plane with Ruben Amorim this morning from Sporting? So it should come as no surprise. And I want to say this, like, Ruud came into United when morale was as low as it gets. Hey, that's what happens when you sack a manager. That's why a manager is sacked. The morale is low. The results are not coming in. And then in 4 games, 2 clean sheets, 11 goals, 3, 5, 6, 11. Got my maths right. 3 wins, 1 draw, undefeated. It was pretty much as good as we could possibly have asked for from Ruud van Nistelrooy. If you want to be a perfectionist, you say, well, he should have beaten Chelsea. No, he shouldn't have beaten. Well, I think a draw was a fair result. Now, somebody else who does stay at the club, actually, is Andreas Georgian, who was brought in as a first-team set-piece specialist. So I think Georgian is staying. I think Fletcher is staying. But other than that, Ruud van Nistelrooy leaves. And that game there at the weekend, Leicester, anybody who was lucky enough to be there, were there for Ruud's goodbye. And it did look like a bit of a goodbye. Let's be totally honest. And I think kind of Ruud understood it. And if Ruud stepped out of that situation and he was Ruben Amorim coming into Manchester United, would he have wanted the interim manager to stay on? Probably not. It does give a clean slate to Ruben. It means it's his coaching setup. And it would have been a little bit undermining to have Ruud van Nistelrooy there. I don't think it would have been terribly undermining, but a little bit. And just a massive thank you to Ruud, really. For him to take over the club when he took over, and it just felt like there was nothing. That game against West Ham, even when we had the chances, nothing came our way. And then the VAR, nothing was coming. Just nothing was coming our way. Nothing was falling our way. To turn that into 3 wins and a draw, and to leave us 4 points behind 3rd place, 4 points off Chelsea and Arsenal, 1 point behind Spurs, 3 points behind Villa. That is a perfect position to leave it for Ruben Amorim coming in. And I think he would have met Ruud van Nistelrooy, he would have spoken to Ruud van Nistelrooy, and he would have said, thank you for what you've done. You've made my job easier by navigating this period as interim manager. Now, Michael Carrick was also a very good interim manager before for Manchester United, and Ruud van Nistelrooy can consider himself a fantastic one. I wish him nothing but the best, but truth be told, I think this is the correct decision. I thought it would have been, undermining might be in a strong way to describe it, but with everything that we've now got at Ineos with Omar Beretta there. I see that's such an awesome photo for the fact that that's our CEO, Omar Beretta. That's our technical director, Jason Wilcox. That's our sporting director, Dan Ashworth. Forgot his name there. And our brand new head coach in Ruben Amorim. That right there is a whole structure that's been put in place, chosen. That is the first choice CEO. That's the first choice sporting director. That's the first choice head coach. And Jason Wilcox, I think, was first choice as well. Ineos have got what they wanted. Now, will the results follow in the next 2 to 3 years? And will Ineos get what they want in Project 150? Well, I hope so. That's going to be the aim. But Ruud van Nistelrooy has played his part. And it's just, it's sad to see him go. But at the same time, I don't want to use the word ruthless because I think that's just an absolutely incorrect phrase to use with this. But it's just the right one. Emotionally, you might have said, I would love to see Ruud stay at the club because of the connection that we've all got to Ruud. But if we're being completely truthful, we know that Ruben Amorim has done this not from a spiteful perspective in any way, shape or form. It's because he's built his own career at Sporting with the coaches that he has brought with him. He's got his own backroom staff that he has been very successful with. And just like any manager, really, they want to bring in their own stuff. Now, some people might say that Ruben, I think a couple of people emailed me actually saying, Sam, do you think that Ruben Amorim might be making a mistake, the same sort of mistake that David Moyes made when he came in? I think the situations are incomparable. When David Moyes came in, it was considered one of the biggest mistakes that he made was sacking all the staff, including Rene Hake, and just bringing all of his assistants with him and having no link to the club. And obviously, he completely sunk. It's different now. And it's different because you're not looking, Ruben Amorim's not looking up to Ed Woodward saying, can you help me, Ed? And he's got no idea. Ruben Amorim's looking towards his CEO or his sporting director or his technical director for support. He's got the whole structure around him. So the requirements for maybe someone like Ruud are slightly less than the same way that Moyes and his requirements for Munich were a lot more. The football club has changed and it's not the same situation. All right. But Ruud van Nistelrooy, to just a final note there, Ruud van Nistelrooy has left. I wish him the best. I wonder whether he'll go straight back into management. I think he'll be hungry and ready for it. And actually, I wonder whether there's a chance he can actually go to Burnley because I don't think is it Scott Parker who's gone there? I don't think he's doing that well. It could well be that Ruud van Nistelrooy has come to United, been assistant manager for a few months, been interim head coach for 4 games, left undefeated, and ends up going to Burnley, which was the job that he was supposed to get in the summer that he overlooked to come back to Manchester United. That'll be a sort of full circle moment. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I think it's the right decision. As sad as it is, this is the start of the Ruben Amorim era, and it's the end of the short-lived but undefeated Ruud van Nistelrooy era. Let me know what you think in the comments.